Okay. Um, have you, Walt, he was sort of holding you back a little bit
Hey,
this
Sarah,
training
hey,
camp just so.
Sarah, we're having a really hard time hearing your question. I think it may be your connectivity. I'm gonna go to someone else and we'll come back to you for the sake of time. Let's go to
Okay.
let's go to Pepper Pursley.
Hi, Sabrina. It's great to talk with you. I know it must have been challenging to stay motivated during your rehab. So I was just wondering, what were some of the things you did to keep yourself engaged in basketball and motivated in it, even when you couldn't play?
Yeah, it definitely was really hard and a long process, but I think at the end of the day, just wanting to get back on the court motivated me. So whatever that was, whether for that day was learning how to walk again or getting strength back in the weight room, spending a lot of time in the weight room and just working on my body, kind of allowed me to get back on the court. So I think just always keeping that in mind and always, understanding that there's going to be adversity along the way, but just, staying positive and keeping those people around me, my friends and my family that kind of helped me through this really close and leaning on them for guidance as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Sarah, we'll come back to you.
Any better now?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, cool. Walt had mentioned in the beginning of camp that he was sort of holding you back a little bit. So I was wondering, are there any hiccups as of right now? Like, do you think you're a full go? And like, how have you been responding to like being sort of more in the background through this training camp?
Yeah, I've been fine. Just excited to get back out here with the team. Obviously, after such a serious injury, I just want to make sure that I'm taking all the proper steps and listening to my PTs and the trainers here. So it's been really fun getting back on the court and just doing what I love. And I'm fine being in the background or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. I'm just excited to be able to play and back doing what I love.
Thank you.
Danny Barlabi.
Hi, Sabrina. How are you? I was wondering, you mentioned your family a bit in your response to Pepper. I was wondering if you could talk a bit more about them. Recently, a story went viral about your father hyping you up as the best to one of his Uber driver passengers a few years ago during your senior year of high school. So yeah, I was wondering, both through your injury rehab and through the rest of your basketball journey, what has it meant for you to have a father and a family who believe in you so strongly?
Yeah, that tweet that I saw didn't surprise me. I think he's been doing things like that since I started playing. So that was just a normal thing, but they've been great. They've supported me through absolutely everything, no matter if I've played well or haven't played well, and at every stage of my career. And so I'm really, excited to start playing again and then have them show up and be able to come to games now. So I can't wait for that.
Thank you.
Miles Ehrlich.
Hey, Sabrina. The pandemic limited so much last year, so you didn't really get to experience the full WNBA training camp. While some of those protocols still exist now, what have been the major differences for you this time around? And do you think you can just appreciate it more, having shaken off some of those first-year jitters now that you're more familiar with the league?
It's a lot different than playing in a bubble, but obviously we're still in a pandemic. So, we're definitely staying cognizant and safe of that and have our own guidelines to follow. But I think just being able to be in Barclays Center, practicing here, being able to have everyone around that is allowed to be around is definitely different and really exciting. It definitely feels more like a WNBA season. And it's awesome to just be here with my team, be here with the teammates, and just be able to interact with them outside of the bubble.
Dorothy Gentry.
Sabrina, hi. Thanks for your time. I want to ask you, how did your injury, change your perspective on basketball as well as on your abilities on the court? One, and then two, how did you mentally recover from the injury? Did you talk to people? Did you create some new habits? What are some things you did to mentally recover as your body recovered? Thanks.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot that goes into it, and I would say it definitely gives you more of an appreciation for the game. I think before you kind of take for granted the time that you have to be able to practice and the ability to run, jump, get out on the court whenever you want. And then when you're hurt and can't do those things, for a long period of time, you definitely miss it a little more. So I think it gave me at least a more, appreciation for what I love doing, being very grateful, being where my feet are and just, living in the moment and appreciating it. And then, yeah, obviously the mental side is just as important as the physical side. So I definitely talked to other athletes that went through injuries. My family helped a lot, and my friends around me. And so I think taking into consideration all those pieces, they have helped me get to where I am now.
Last question, Michelle Vopel.
Yeah, Sabrina, Michelle Vogel from ESPN.com. I know you haven't had a lot of time with this, but how quickly can you get a read on what the biggest strengths are of this particular team?
Yeah, I think, we're deep, and I think we're a little bit more veteran than we were last year. I think with 7 rookies last year, it was kind of all over the place. We were learning. We had no idea, what to expect. But I think now having those returners be a little bit more veteran, and then also the players that we have coming in that have played on championship teams, that have played at a high level, be able to bring in their knowledge and what they've learned from their teams and bring it into our young players that are a little bit more veteran as well. So I'm really excited. I think we're learning more and more every single day, but it's also been really competitive and fun. I mean, from everyone that's been here, our ability to shoot and our ability to defend has really been kind of the backbone of this training camp, and we're going to just continue to grow that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sabrina. Next, we have Janelle Bailey. Sorry we didn't get to everyone's questions today. Please know that Sabrina will be available again next week.